Welcome back to Facts Repo, your go-to source for exploring the most fascinating questions of our time. Today, we're diving deep into a concept that might make you question everything you see, feel, and experience. Elon Musk, a name synonymous with pushing the boundaries of technology, once famously stated that the chances we are living in base reality are 1 in billions. This isn't just a throwaway comment from a tech mogul, it's a gateway to one of the most mind-bending philosophical and scientific ideas of our era, the simulation hypothesis. The core idea is both simple and profoundly complex. Are we, and everything we know, part of an incredibly advanced computer simulation? Is our universe, with its intricate laws of physics and vast galaxies, nothing more than a program running on a colossal computer, perhaps designed by a post-human or alien civilization far more advanced than our own? This isn't just a plot from a science fiction movie. The argument for this hypothesis is surprisingly logical. Consider the trajectory of our own technology. Just a few decades ago, video games were simple pixelated figures like Pong. Today, we have photorealistic virtual reality environments that can, at times, be difficult to distinguish from the real world. We are on a path toward creating simulations that are indistinguishable from reality. If we accept this trend will continue, it's not a huge leap to imagine that in 1,000 or 1,000,000 years, our descendants could run countless ancestor simulations, creating entire universes populated with conscious beings, just like us, to study their own past. If any civilization anywhere in the universe has reached this level of technological maturity, they would likely create not just one, but billions or even trillions of such simulations. If you have billions of simulated realities and only one base reality, simple probability suggests it is overwhelmingly more likely that we are in one of the simulations rather than the one, unique, original reality. This is the statistical argument that thinkers like Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom have laid out. It presents a trilemma: either civilizations go extinct before reaching the technological maturity to create such simulations, or they lose interest in creating them, or we are almost certainly living in one. Given our own rapid technological advancement, the first two options seem less plausible with each passing year. But where's the evidence? Can we find glitches in our matrix? Some physicists point to the strange world of quantum mechanics. Take the famous double-slit experiment, for example. It's one of the most perplexing experiments in all of science, and its results seem to align eerily well with how a video game might render its world. In this experiment, particles like electrons are fired at a screen with two small slits in it. When we don't observe which slit the particle goes through, it behaves like a wave, passing through both slits at once and creating an interference pattern on the detector behind it. It's as if it exists in a state of all possibilities simultaneously. However, the moment we place a detector to observe which slit the particle actually goes through, its behavior changes instantly. The wave-like behavior collapses, and the particle acts like a solid little ball, going through one slit or the other, but not both. The interference pattern vanishes. This is where the simulation analogy becomes compelling. It's as if the universe doesn't bother to render a definite state for the particle until a conscious observer looks at it. A video game engine works in a similar way. It only renders the details of the environment that the player is currently looking at to save computing power. The rest of the game world doesn't exist in full detail until it enters the player's field of view. Is the act of observation in quantum mechanics our version of looking at the code, forcing the simulation to render a definite outcome from a cloud of probabilities? It's a provocative thought that suggests reality might be resource conscious, just like a computer program. Further clues might lie in the very fabric of our universe. Physicists have discovered that at the smallest possible scale, the Planck length, our familiar, smooth understanding of space and time seems to break down. Reality appears to become pixelated or discrete, made up of indivisible units. Could these be the fundamental pixels of our simulated universe? Just as the image on your screen is made up of millions of tiny dots, our reality might also have a finite resolution. If our world were a simulation, it would have to be based on a finite amount of information and processing power, which would naturally lead to a pixelated structure at its most fundamental level. This brings us to the limits of computing power. Could a computer even exist that is powerful enough to simulate an entire universe, with every single atom and every conscious thought? The computational requirements would be staggering, far beyond anything we can currently conceive. However, we are projecting our own technological limitations onto a hypothetical, far future civilization. A post-human civilization that has mastered technologies like quantum computing on a universal scale might have access to computational resources that are, for all practical purposes, infinite from our perspective. They might not even need to simulate the entire universe in perfect detail all at once. As the double-slit experiment suggests, the simulation might only need to render the parts of reality that are being observed. The core of a distant star or the inside of a planet might not be fully calculated until we develop the technology to look there. It's a supremely efficient system. If we are in a simulation, what are the implications? It forces us to confront the ultimate philosophical question: is any of this real? The love you feel, the challenges you overcome, the beauty of a sunset, are these just lines of code? The answer might be more comforting than you think. Even if our reality is a simulation, it is still our reality. The experiences are real to us, the consciousness experiencing them is real within this framework. Your decisions, your joys, and your sorrows are no less meaningful to you just because they might be generated by a higher-level system. In fact, some believe this idea could offer a new perspective on purpose and meaning. If our world is an ancestor simulation, perhaps its purpose is to learn, to grow, and to contribute to the data being collected by our creators. Every life lived becomes a valuable data point in a grand cosmic experiment. This line of thinking also opens up bizarre and fascinating possibilities. Could our simulators interact with us? Are miracles, unexplained phenomena, or even religious experiences interventions from the programmers, or perhaps just bugs in the code? Could there be cheat codes to our reality? While we currently have no way to prove or disprove the simulation hypothesis definitively, scientists are actively thinking about ways to test it. Some have proposed looking for specific anomalies in cosmic rays or subtle irregularities in the laws of physics that might betray the underlying computational grid of a simulation. If the universe is running on a grid, there might be slight differences in physics depending on which direction you're looking. Ultimately, whether we are living in base reality or an elaborate simulation, our task remains the same: to explore, to understand, and to live our lives to the fullest. The simulation hypothesis isn't a reason for despair, but a call to curiosity. It encourages us to keep asking the big questions and to never stop marveling at the strange and beautiful nature of our existence, whatever that existence may be. The mystery of whether reality is a code remains one of the most profound puzzles we face. It blurs the lines between physics, computer science, and philosophy, pushing us to the very limits of what we think we know. Thank you for joining us on this mind-bending journey at Facts Repo. If you enjoyed this exploration of reality, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. What do you think? Are we living in a simulation? Let us know in the comments below.